And on the eve of that trial starting tomorrow, the idea that you hear among some elected Republicans that the events of January 6th are so far behind us and, Trump's gone and this whole thing ought to be just put out of our minds so we can move forward. That argument, that mindset is very much undermined by the current news cycle and not just current events, but new revelations in the news. For example, there was reporting by Matthew Rosenberg in the New York Times this weekend that after Trump's disgraced national security advisor, Mike Flynn, started advocating after the election publicly that Trump should impose martial law, after Flynn started advocating publicly that Trump should order the U.S. military into the streets to, in his words, rerun the election in states that Trump lost, after Flynn started making that public case about what Trump should do, according to the New York Times this weekend, quote, Trump raised the idea of putting Mr. Flynn in charge of the FBI and later suggested making him chief of staff, meaning White House chief of staff, for the final weeks of his administration. So here's the impeachment trial starting, with President Trump's new lawyers claiming that everything Trump said leading up to January 6th was just hyperbole. It was all just typical politics and rhetorical flourishes, and he didn't actually mean what he said literally, and he definitely didn't have any aim to try to overturn the election by force. That's what they're going to be arguing, right? But yeah, there was that guy who was suggesting that Trump should order the U.S. military to use force to undo the election for him. And the president's reaction to that was reportedly to try to put that guy in charge of the White House, to make him White House chief of staff, or maybe to make him head of the FBI. Maybe he could do it from there. Trump's reaction to Flynn suggesting that he has the military take over to undo the election was to try to put Flynn operationally in charge of the White House. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.